It's another fine day here in Hanoi, and today we're going to create a slightly different video. Today I'm going to focus a lot on just cost exclusively. You're going to see how much it costs for us as a family of four and what we do on a normal day-to-day life when we're not doing really touristy stuff, and how much it costs just to feed us, for us to have coffee, and for us to do everything in between. So come along and see how much we spend today here in Hanoi. So, as some of you know, we've been spending around 2,600 to 3,000 a month, all inclusive of flights, trains, planes, hotels, food, everything. So today we're going to show you how we achieve that on average. So some days are going to be more expensive than what we're doing today, and some days will be cheaper. But this looks at a bit of an average of what we spend daily. So we're not going to hold back to try and save costs. We're just going to live a normal life and see how much we spend and how much everything costs. So Vietnam is slightly cheaper than the other countries that we visited, and I say slightly and not very because we've been budget conscious from the beginning. So we've never gone to the most fanciest places, we haven't eaten the fanciest meals, so we have an average that we stick to every day for basic stuff, and then from that average we know what we can spend during the day. So let's go explore the streets of Hanoi. So we are at our first stop. We were on our way to a famous egg coffee place that we're going to go to after this. But everyone was hungry and we saw a banh mi place that offered vegetarian and tuna options, so we stopped here. We ordered 4 banh mi's in total. We still don't have the full bill, so we're just making our order now to see what that comes up to. But this is going to be lunch for us, and then we'll go have some coffee after. So I will follow up with the cost after we've got the food and the bill. So we have the final bill. The total bill is 200,000 Vietnamese dong, which is about £7.30, and that is 4 banh mi's and 2 drinks. So lunch for all of us cost £7.30. We probably could have got it cheaper, but I've just realised that this is quite a nice place and somewhere people recommend coming to for banh mi, so prices are slightly inflated. So we have arrived at our second location, Cafe Giang. It's known and renowned for having the most amazing egg coffee. I think it's one of the founding places to get egg coffee here in Hanoi. We ordered 2 original egg coffee, 1 hot, 1 cold, and we ordered 2 egg Oreos. The total came up to 170,000 Vietnamese dong. Just left the coffee place and just finished our coffee. We're now going to go and explore. We're just going to walk and we're just going to get lost. Just a tally up of our total so far. So we've had lunch, we had banh mi's and drinks, and then we had some egg coffees, and the kids had some egg Oreo thing as well. Our total so far for today is £11 and some change. I'll put the exact amount somewhere on the screen. But so far we're doing all right. We've been out about maybe 2-3 hours. We're going to stop off as soon as we can and get some more drinks and waters and snacks for the kids. We'll also tally that up, and we'll see if we're going to go into anywhere that actually costs money. Hanoi today is really hot. It's really hot. The sun doesn't look like it's out much. You guys can't see the sky, but the sun doesn't look like it's out much, but the humidity is what will get you in places like this. So we're going to walk, try and get some water or juices or anything that has ice, because I got a hot drink just before. And we will show you how much something like a bottle of water costs, or something like a fizzy drink or juices, and how much that would cost if you wanted to just stop over and grab one of them. So let's see if we can find a shop around here to do exactly that. So as we're on our way to the next area that we're going to, I'm going to give you guys a glimpse as to just how the city of Hanoi looks and what to expect if you do come here. So obviously we are black and we are Muslim. There are surprisingly quite a number of Muslims here in the city, and we spot some every now and again. So far, there's some behind me. I'm just gonna. There was some that just walked. See what I mean? There was just some that walked behind me, and that's what I mean. I feel like it's not very rare that you see people wearing hijab or people that identify as Muslim, which is a good thing. Our treatment in the city so far has been, honestly, you guys, I've not felt uncomfortable once. I've not felt stares, I've not felt like, oh look, black people. I've not felt like one part of a human zoo as I have felt in some countries. The people are so lovely, so genuine, so kind, and their kindness doesn't feel forced. It just feels like they're just genuinely just kind people. And I really like it so far in Hanoi. I didn't think I was going to like it because look at this. Look at how loud and busy. Just every intersection of the city looks exactly like this. And the older I get, the more I realise that I'm just not the biggest city fan. Like, I think I'm growing out of cities. I just want to be somewhere that's more quiet, more relaxed, more in tone with nature. But it seems like Hanoi for me is not terrible. Like I said, the food has been good, coffee is amazing, cost is great, and the people are really nice as well. So yeah, so we're just walking now to find that drink shop. I feel like we could have probably stopped 1,000 times, but we're on our way to a Circle K, which is kind of like, it's a small convenience store that's in multiple places. Think Tesco Express, versus some places like this where you can just stop off and grab a water, and they have drinks in there as well and some snacks. So we're just heading to Circle K instead of here. So Circle K would be considered more expensive than places like this. But the drinks will be cold. So let's go and find it. I think we're a bit lost, so let's go find it. So we have made it inside Circle K, just picking up a couple of drinks. So let's take a look at some of the prices here. So you can see that this is essentially the water fridge. Fiji water is 39,000, 39 for Evian. But the more localised, less Western waters are significantly cheaper. Like you can get, this is a 2-litre bottle and the price is about 13,000 here. And then you've got various different drinks as well that you can get, and a lot of these are like local drinks, so some might not be ones that you know of, but we've got Mogu Mogu here at 22,000, and then coconut water, cheaper than back home, isn't it? And then various different local drinks as well, so kombucha, some vitamin drinks, collagen jelly things, and various different things. So let's try and find some of the drinks that we can compare to back home, which is more in this fridge, but someone looking at it. But you can see, I don't know whether you can see from the video, but we've got Diet Coke there at 14,000 and that's a can. Fanta at 13,000, which we don't buy anymore, but just to give you a bit of a price comparison of what you can expect to find. You've also got big bottles at the bottom, and various different drinks, but I try wherever I go to test out some of the local drinks versus getting what I already have tried. So you've got Red Bull in funky cans there, and some more of the energy drinks. I am going for this, which is a lychee drink, because who doesn't love lychee? And then the rest of the store pretty much is your regular usual shops with all types of different snacks and stuff. We've got Oreos and crackers and biscuits and just various different stuff, and costs vary on what you're trying to get. You've got some nuts, you've got some Walkers, more Walkers, and some, I'm guessing, local crisps, these brands. But for an example, this massive packet of Walker's, I don't know, Wagyu is 38,000, so just over £1 and some change. And then the Oreos, like I said earlier, one of it is 21,000. But remember, prices are slightly inflated here because it is a bit more of a mainstream shop. It's like a small convenience shop, and it has everything you need, but it is in pretty popular areas versus it being quite local. You've got Haribos, and what I love about Haribos in a lot of the Southeast Asian countries is that they are just accidentally and brilliantly halal. So you can find a lot of halal options when you are looking for sweets, which is perfect for us when we're looking for hypo treatments for our tiny little type 1. Okay, now we are going to be hydrated. We are going to make it to our next spot. I am going to show you actually how much all of what we bought cost. So let's see what the final total was. So this is the final total. We got 3 drinks and a packet of cigarettes, not for me, and it came up to 97,000, which is £2.90 in total. So £2.90 for 3 drinks and a packet of cigs. So on we go. So we were just walking around the river, which was very close to the South across the road, and we spotted these little electric buses. We've seen them all over Hanoi the last 2 days that we've been here, and I just thought it was part of the tour that you book online with Get Your Guide or Klook. But the stall is right here, the one in blue, and we've just asked how much it is for a tour. So just to give you a bit of a visual, they look like this. So they've just quoted us for an hour tour 360,000 Vietnamese dong, which is around about £11 for an hour for a private car for all of us. So I think we're going to do it. We will have a tour around the city for an hour, and they said that we can stop and take pictures. It will be incorporated into the hour, but let's see how much fun this is, because we've seen them around and they have looked really fun. And the thing is with stuff like this, they know where to go, right? Because you don't know until you know. You do research, and there's some places, like really some hidden gems that you miss because you're not a local. So we'll get on it. We still have 3 days left, so if there are places that we see along the way that we really want to go back to, then we will. So we're just buying our tickets now at this blue stall right by the lake. So we've got the final receipt. You can see it's 360, and that's for a full car. So we've got a full car. If there's loads of you and you are coming, you can probably split the cost, but there's not that many of us, right? We're one family. So if you're a group of 5 or 6 people, you can get your own car and just split the cost of 360 for the hour, which is what I would recommend. So we're just loading on. So we are on. You can see all of the others are filling up as well, and they're moving off. I think these are more part of group tours, because out of nowhere all of the other buses are filled up. So just like that, about 2 minutes after spotting it, we have set off, and we are now on a tour in one of these electric buses, just going around Hanoi and seeing what we can see. So I will be turning the camera on and off depending on whatever I see, otherwise this will be a very long video. But you can see where we got the bus from, which is over there. And now let's go and explore Hanoi. We have arrived at our first stop. It's so stunning when you see it from outside. It almost looks fake. You know, like something that's been sanded and brushed and cleaned just to make it look the way that it looks. But it's so beautiful. And it literally took a minute for us to get here from where we were. I'll try and position myself somewhere a bit more central so you can see. But yeah, there is a crap ton of people here. I keep photobombing because just look at the sheer amount of people. And like 80% of them are taking pictures. So if you have a look, It's actually a really tall structure. I'm not sure whether it's still an acting church. I should do more research on this, but I'm not sure if it's still an active church, but they say that it's meant to replicate and mimic the Notre Dame in France, which honestly I can see it, having seen that as well. It's beautiful and it's stunning. And so this is St. Joseph's Cathedral after a very quick Google search off camera. It's a very pretty structure and it's very beautiful. So this is on the list for many people's things to do in Hanoi. As you can see, I would definitely recommend it. It is absolutely stunning. Come and give it a visit whenever you are in Hanoi. It's obviously, for us now doing this video, it's a free attraction. The only thing that we paid for was the £10 or £11 bus tour, but to come here and to view it from the outside is free and you're not having to pay anything. So give it a visit anytime that you're in Hanoi. But so far entry to this place hasn't cost us anything, and I don't think we're gonna pay to enter, so we're just gonna admire it from the outside. That was slightly more chaotic than I like it to be, but we did a very quick in and out, stood there, enjoyed the scenery, took a couple of pictures, and now we are heading back to our bus to see where the next stop is. We haven't been given an itinerary or been told where we're going. But we're just along for the ride. So let's see what the next stop is now that we have finished. Let's cross another street in Vietnam. So again, this is what I meant about not knowing what side the traffic's coming from, because there's no real law and order. You've got cars coming from the right this way and then cars coming from the right and left this way. We will wait until it's safe to do so and then cross. Oh gosh, okay, you can see he was extremely close. We have seen an opening and we have made it across. Okay, I will see you guys at the next stop if I don't die crossing the street before then. So a few minutes after that and we have arrived at the Hanoi Opera House, which is over here. I'm guessing this is one of the stops of the tour, and you can see that the junction that it's at is actually very, very beautiful. Over there, down that road, just behind that sign, was where the Gucci's and the Pradas and the Dior's were. And then you can see this massive junction with what looks like a roundabout. And this is what the opera house looks like. So you can see it's a massive structure, a massive building. I don't think here there's much to see. There's a little marketplace there. So we've just stopped off at this corner, which is what I was showing you guys before, but I think it's ticket upon entry and there doesn't seem to be much in there. So we're just going to take a bit of a walk around the area. Our bus is coming to pick us back up in about 5 minutes. So we're going to wander around, see what's here. Honestly, we didn't even know this part of Hanoi existed because we've been so centralized and so stuck in the old town, which is, if you're going to come, position yourself in the old town because everything has been walking distance. But the good thing about doing tours like this, whether accidental or on purpose, is it shows you different parts of the city that you wouldn't have even considered going to because there's not a massive tourist attraction there. So I feel like it's a bit of a dead end here where we're walking and there's not much to see really around these corners. But it's still nice seeing a part of Hanoi that doesn't necessarily scream traditional like the old town does a little bit. So we are going to make our way to where the bus is going to pick us up and enjoy the sights up until then. So we have just left our second destination and heading towards our third. I have no idea where the third is. We are just along for the ride, enjoying the sights and hearing the sound of the bright lights. And Hanoi is the city that you want all other cities to be. And it is perfectly chaotic. Just to give you guys a rough idea of what we spent today as a reminder. So we had lunch and that came up to 200,000 Vietnamese dong. We then had some egg coffees that came up to 170,000 Vietnamese dong. Then we went to Circle K and got some drinks, which was 97,000 Vietnamese dong. And then we got this bus for an hour for a tour, private tour for all of us, for 360,000 Vietnamese dong. So we will keep tallying our total up. The day is not done. We still have dinner and probably a few more waters and stuff to get, and maybe some juices. But that's our running tally for today. This part of the tour has been more driving around the old quarters. We're quite familiar with this area because we stay here and we've done quite a lot of walking here. But it's nice to get this kind of vantage point of the area, go down roads that we haven't seen. Apologies if the noise or the external noise is too much. There are a lot of cars on the road, and like I said about this city, it is very, very loud. So we are just wrapping up our final tour. The sun has set and the city is loud. We essentially stopped off at two places already. One was the cathedral and the other one was the opera house, and then the rest of the time we were having a tour around the old town. And we're just wrapping up our tour at the old town. You can ask to be dropped off wherever you want, whether it's your hotel or somewhere specific. We are on our way to a barber shop that we have found somewhere here. We've got about 5 minutes left of the tour, so we're going to be dropped off there, and we will show you guys how much a male haircut is here in the city of Hanoi. We've just finished the haircut at Max's barber. The total was 230,000 Vietnamese dong, which works out to about £7, which is not bad at all. And it was a full-on haircut and a beard shave, and it's recommended. So if you have black hair texture and you're coming to or travelling through Hanoi, you just haven't come from your home country, then I would definitely recommend Max's barbershop. I think it is exactly what we needed, and the price was very affordable at £7. So 230 dong was the price of a haircut and a beard shave. Just stopping off for a very quick Vietnamese mixu. So they have these all over Southeast Asia, and they're known for their cheap ice cream and cheap drinks. So we are just making our order before we head home for some cheap drinks and cheap ice cream. So as a reminder, £1 is 32,000 Vietnamese dong. So you can get various different things like ice cream, other bits of ice cream, boba drinks, and different types of teas, all for, I guess, set cost. And then these are the stars of the show. So you can get a lemonade for 15k, a boba sundae for 25k, and a single cone for 10k. So we've just ordered 2 ice creams and a drink, and the total cost was 80,000. So we got one of these mango sundaes, and then we got one of those ice cream bobas up there for 25, and I got this thing, creamy mango boba. So all of that came up to 80k. So 25 for one of the ice creams, and then 30k for my mango boba, and then 25k for the other boba up there. So 80k all inclusive. So we have made our final stop of the day, which is dinner. We have stumbled upon an Indian restaurant here in Hanoi, which is completely halal. We've just ordered our food and we are waiting for it to be delivered. I will do final cost at the end in case we order additional drinks or anything additional. We got the usual order, so a butter chicken, but it's mutton. We've got some rice, some naan and various other bits and bobs as well. So let's wait to see what arrives. We'll do final verdict at the end, and we will do final cost at the end. So we have just finished the meal at Raz's Indian restaurant here in Hanoi. The total for the food that you saw came up to £17, and that's for 2 sauces, rice, 2 naans and drinks as well. So not bad, and the food was really nice. So if you are a halal eater and a halal eater only, I would recommend this restaurant. It hasn't been like my most favourite food that I've eaten so far, but it was still a very good meal and exactly what we needed. Our bellies are full and now we're heading home.